Hey there, my name's Robert Graves. I'm the owner of Dragon's Den Gaming, a game store in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. We do board games, card games, miniature games. Basically, if it's a game that doesn't require a ball or a plug-in, we probably carry something of its genre. And I'd like to talk about how coronavirus has affected my store and me personally, and how we plan to end up opening up again, and how tournaments will someday come back. So I'm not a psychologist by any means, but I do have my own ideas, and there's so many types of health that exist. So there's your physical health, there's financial health, which a lot of people seem to be concerned about as well. Mental and emotional health are so intertwined, it's kind of hard to talk about one without talking about the other, so I'm not going to differentiate. And so this is mostly going to be about affecting me more than our individual customers or anything. But obviously the coronavirus is most directly impacting people's physical health. You get sick, you could die. A lot of people who recover will have long-term lung capacity issues. Perfectly healthy people might not be able to breathe well for the rest of their life because of it. Hopefully some type of medical breakthrough will fix that problem for them. But the physical stuff is fairly obvious. We don't want people to get sick. We don't want to get people to get together. We don't want people to intermingle, because if one person has it and doesn't know it, because a lot of times symptoms don't show super well, then everybody in that group could potentially have it. And if 30% of those people have severe symptoms and one of those people dies, it's very easy to feel responsible. As the person who allowed the gathering, it's very easy to feel responsible for the person who had it and gave it to them. They probably never know. It's very easy to feel responsible for, oh, I encouraged that get-together. They may not have gotten together if I hadn't shown up. For example, in Magic, drafts don't often fire if there's 7 players, but if there's 8, it would fire. So the physical side of it is fairly straightforward. People don't want to get together because they don't want to get it. People don't want to get together because they don't want to give it to somebody else. The financial stuff is also fairly obvious. I think it's probably all, I don't know. I'm saying it's obvious, but that's because it's from my perspective, and of course I feel the way I feel about these things. The financial side of it is, of course, if people aren't getting together, then people aren't going out. And people aren't going out, they're not spending money. Bars, restaurants, they don't have customers going in to get their food. They at least have some type of takeout system, usually, though. Most restaurants have curbside or delivery. Grubhub and Food Dudes and all those companies. I don't know all of them. I don't pretend to, but they give some type of outlet for that. We've been doing curbside ourselves to some capacity, but with the reduced traffic, it's hard to justify having people at the store all the time, so we miss a lot of phone calls. We have an email you can send orders to, but we haven't always necessarily gotten back to that in a timely manner. And that kind of brings me to, I know we didn't finish financial health, but we're going to talk about emotional health and mental health a little bit. A lot of people who nerds, we're nerds. We're all nerds, geeks, dorks, whatever you want to call it. I don't like dorks, personally. But I actually like the word nerd. I gladly call myself one. But we do tend to have some social awkwardness, we'll call it. I think a lot of that just stems from anxiety. The anxiety of the people who don't get what we get, like who aren't into the things we're into, will, at some point of our life, most of us have encountered ridicule of some kind from that. So we all have some type of anxiety. Not all of us, but most of us. Anxiety, I mean, loosely is some type of depression. I've had that pretty bad the past year, for a variety of reasons. A lot of it's just in my own head, but this situation has exacerbated that. Generally throughout my life, and again, I talked about this being about the store, but it's hard to talk about the store without talking about me. So throughout my life, I've had a pretty good response to crisis. If something's going wrong, I generally am on the spot. I fix it well. I respond positively. But anxiety is kind of invisible. I don't know how to respond to it. And this particular crisis is the worst I've ever responded to any crisis of any kind in my entire life. I have fallen down on the job a lot during this outbreak. A lot of stores have had good online responses. That's not been me. If you've ever had the anxiety of the phone rings and you don't want to answer it, that's exactly how I feel about any type of contact lately. I've been trying to force myself to get stuff done, but like emails, I don't want to check my email. I don't want to even go to work and have the phone ring around me. I've been forcing myself to a little bit. I've been trying, and it has been getting better the last week or two. But it's very easy to fall into the, my anxiety is too high right now, and I need to do something to alleviate that. Well, then once I've done playing that game or doing that thing that I was doing to alleviate that, now I feel guilt, which made the whole thing worse. So I have, not frequently, but I have spent entire days at the store there to get projects done and done nothing because that anxiety guilt loop. Where I'll get up to do a project and then before I actually get any progress done, the weight is too much. And it's not even a conscious decision. I don't realize I'm doing it until I'm 2 minutes into the game, and then it's very easy to justify it. Well, I don't want to leave my teammates in a lurch, so I'll finish this game. So not a whole lot of stuff has gotten done myself. Aaron's done a pretty good job of handling things in what I'm basically just going to call my absence. Aaron is our store manager. He runs stuff for me when I'm not available or not able to. He's done a pretty good job. We have AJ Weber was our new hire shortly before this all happened. He's been helping out at the store lately. We weren't going to cut hours very much. We were going to see what we could do to try to help things stay active so all of our employees could keep hours. But one of our employees was very part-time. He had a full-time job. He just stopped coming because his responsibilities weren't there anymore. So, and then we had another employee who has already needed more hours to sustain his lifestyle. So he actually picked up a new full-time job and kind of quit, not quite. And then another employee was the same thing. He didn't feel like he was doing the store good during the downtime, so he went to just his full-time job. So we've had I don't know how to I liked having those people around. I liked helping them, so to speak. But they had to do what they had to do, and they were probably a hard decision for them to make, so I don't want to judge that at all. But yeah, so I guess what I'm getting at is hopefully talking about it, telling people how we're doing, keeping people up to date on the den, at least a little bit, will help motivate me. Although I imagine I'm going to get a typhoon of people commenting or messaging me about this. Probably mostly encouraging. Although we have had, when we closed the store, that was a very, very hard decision because I knew that financially it was going to be very hard on us. And emotionally it's going to be hard on us too. But I did have a couple people who called me selfish for that. And I'm not going to name names because I'm not that type of person. I'm not banning them from the store. I'm not kicking them out. I'm not going to lash out. But that really hurt. So I guess I'm expecting people to come to just to man up from the response to this too. And if you feel that way, shut up. I don't care. You don't need to talk to me. But, so what are our plans going forward? So starting on Tuesday, May 26th, the den is going to be opening up again in a very limited capacity. What that means is we will be open from 11 to 7, Tuesday through Sunday. We are not going to be holding any tournaments, no events, nothing that encourages people to get together and hang out. we are going to be limiting it to one group per at a time. So we're not going to have two groups of people shopping at the same time, and group can't be larger than 4. Everybody has to be wearing masks. They're just sorry. It doesn't have to be N95 or anything. Just something that prevents if you spit when you're talking, basically. No matter what, if you don't have a mask, you don't get in the store. If you'd like to set up an appointment so that you can get there and you know that somebody else isn't in there and you have to wait in your car, then feel free to send us an email. I'm hoping to get something set up. We did something like this for the release of Ikoria. Hopefully that will continue, or you can sign up for your own time slot. But yeah, so the limit's going to be 15 minutes unless there's no one waiting. If there's no one waiting, I don't care how long you stay. I do care, but this is here to alleviate that mental and emotional stress that people experience and not having stuck in their house. It also alleviates some financial pressure on the den. We did get in on the payroll protection program from the government. That was a Band-Aid on a much bigger wound that barely covered the payroll and rent leading up to that point. So, and that's already gone. So, it'd be nice to have some sales. But yeah, so 7 to 11 Tuesday through Sunday, every day of the week. Every week. I mean, not every day of the week. We're not open Mondays still. We're happy, excited to see people, mostly. As far as tournaments go and events, that's going to be a while. The state of South Dakota has been pushing people to reopen and have social lives and be out shopping and stuff a lot. But when we never really shut down. But when people first started closing up the doors, the numbers weren't as bad as they are right now. There are more people actively sick right now than there were when we shut down. So it's, from a physical health standpoint, it seems silly to reopen, and I hate making that decision because of it. But I get asked 6 or 7 times a day sometimes. I have employees getting messages from people all over. When are you opening up again? And most of those people want us to hold events again. They want us to hold tournaments again. It's going to be a while. I do have something in the works for virtual tournaments, but I don't really want to talk about that in depth because of the anxiety thing. So yeah, I hope that answers some questions, gives people some idea of what's been going on and how we are planning to move forward. So hopefully we'll see you in the store soon. If you have questions, you can hit us up on Facebook. We do have a Twitter that we don't respond to very well. You are welcome to jump onto our website at ddngaming.com. It has links to our Facebook, Twitter. It has a link to hopefully we'll have you can sign up for time slots. You can reserve time slots to come into the store and shop, type of thing. But yeah. Thanks for watching.